Sometimes I know, sometimes
and becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me. If you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without. I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. And becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me. If you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without. I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you.
so no. I'm so
and becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me. If you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without. I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. And becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me. If you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without. I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you.
Sometimes I'm so home. Sometimes I know I'm so home. Sometimes I'm so home. Sometimes I know I'm so
and becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me. If you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without. I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you.
Sometimes I'm so home. Sometimes I know I'm so home. Sometimes I'm so home. Sometimes I know I'm so home. Sometimes I'm so home. Sometimes I know I'm so
Alrighty guys, we're going to get started here in just a second. If you are worried about what color you primed or anything like that, don't worry about it. No big deal this week. We're just doing straight up painting and making some washes, so that's all. But we're going to hang out as more people show up. We got 3 people here. Go ahead and say hello in the chat if you are here. And that way I'll know who's creeping around.
And becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me.
This time we got the same frame going on. We got a little bit of a different setup this time. Hey Brian, how's it going, man? Man, it has been a day. We got all kinds of work done. Laura was over here. And she's back to Mary. It'll be even crazier. Goodness gracious. What's up, David? Thanks for letting me know that link. It's actually crazy because I confirmed that was the right link, and then I guess YouTube just literally was like, nah, we don't want to use that link anymore. Oh my goodness, that's a no for me, dog. But we should be ready to rock and roll. What is this? Your application has been submitted. We will notify you if the application is approved. All right, thank you so much for that. Person. It's not a job. It's not a job application, so don't worry. We're still gonna be rocking and rolling. Are you sick, Brian? Is that what you're saying? I would hope not. But it is going around. They said the flu season's still gonna literally hang around till like March, which is extremely rough, obviously. But luckily I already had it, so hopefully I won't get it again because that pretty much ruined my life. It set me back so long. It's insane. But anyway. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. I think we're good to go. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, whatever. We'll get started. Nice and slow here. Oh, you are sick. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. Wow, look at David waiting for room service like a real guy. All right, let's get the music popping. Let's hop over here. Let's blip, blap, blap. All right, here we are. Here we are. So I still have a bit of a desync on my voice. So if that drives you crazy, sorry. But you can just look at Arthur, who's right there instead. Hi, Arthur. Say hello to everybody. But, so if you got both palettes, hopefully everybody's palette showed up on time. I know that the weather over the weekend may have delayed it, but they did get all in the mail on time. So, if yours didn't show up, had to have been the weather. I had that interrupt another commission as well. So they were just like, don't even put it in the mail because it's not gonna get here because we got bad weather. So I was like, oh God. Well, sorry, bro. But hopefully everybody's there. If you got both of them, it's the one with not the purple or the blue, deep blue strip down the middle. They're pretty obvious this week. You can tell pretty well. So, so what we're doing today is a wash class. And what does that mean? It means we're going to be talking about painting and using acrylic paint to do a wash. So let me go ahead and just slam this camera down much closer. All right, and then let me get the focal point correct for us here. All right, so here she is. I didn't do anything fancy. I glued the friend on the base, and it's ready to rock and roll. You can see I did gray. I also ended up trimming off some extra areas I figured were mold lines or whatever after I primed her, of course, and then she's seen some wear and tear, but no big deal. So first thing first, let's get cracking on her friend here. So I am going to go for, and this is going to be a little bit different. It's essentially going to be the way that we would normally paint, and then closer to sort of how I actually work, you know, on most things. So it'll be a little bit more advanced for you, but it shouldn't be anything difficult if you're worried. Let's see where my palette's at. It's right here. Cool. Just checking where the camera is. Hey, for those of you that wanted a correct color temp, it took me about 30 minutes to get it actually cracking, but check it out. Look, that actually looks like real fingers. So you should get real colors on the palette for the first time ever. All right, so we're gonna be painting up her little friend here. I'm gonna be going for, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm so used to doing our normal painting that I'm sort of thrown off here. So we're literally gonna start with number 23. You can go for pretty much any kind of green you want. It's closer to an olive green in general. With Reaper, they have a lot of different colors that would work for this. There's Muddy Olive, that would be pretty cool. There's Troll Hide, that would be pretty cool. Obviously, any kind of olive color in general is going to do what you want. Highland Moss is also relatively close, but I'm going to mix Highland Moss with a brighter green, and that'll get me close to what I'm looking for, but we're going to go ahead and start slapping it down on the palito so you can see what I'm talking about. So, we're going to get, okay, we're going to get nothing but host fluid there. It's not what you want. There we go. So we got some of that richer green color. Can I get a little bit, hey. All right, so we got that color. And then this sort of dark mossy color. And I don't really know if this is going to be what we want or not. I'm just gonna have to mix this to actually see, and then we'll know. So let's check it out. That is a lot of paint, by the way, for what I need. How close are we? Okay, so it actually, wow. All right, so this color is actually super close. And of course, because I'm using a green on a green, the colors don't want to really show up on the palette there. But trust me, it's a thing. Hold on, we'll just do the nail. So it's, well, that's actually crazy because it looks a lot brighter than it is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add in a little bit of this troll hide color to get closer. Really, I should have just taken green and added some black to it. But, you know, I always have to make things more difficult for myself because that's just the story of my life. So we're going to throw some of this on here. There we go. I like how this is taking up like all the palette space there. There we go. All right, that's way better. Okay, so we're just gonna paint it. Cover the whole thing, man. This is easy peasy. This is gonna be a nice, relaxing class. Really, the focus of this class is learning how to utilize the washing technique in a more sort of, I don't know, higher level, I guess, right? Because obviously anybody can use an ink or a wash. It's easy peasy. I love dark tone more than anything on the planet, so you guys already know that. But I just got green in my nose, green paint, so that's really cool. But you guys also see me all the time. I'm literally like, okay, I'm making a wash right now out of this, and that's what you do. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today is, you know, doing that cool aspect. Now then, let me take 1 second just to show you here. You can see what's happening. My paint's thinned down as it normally is, and check it out. I actually have some of that gray primer coming through on the ridge, which is cool for us because it's going to make things a little bit easier, or at least for me, I should say. But I'm sure if you guys did a white prime or a gray prime, you're also going to run into the same thing. If you did black, well, 2 coats for you. But so we're going to let that dry. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is a base color, highlighting our way up. So we're starting at 23. We're going to essentially highlight our way to 13. Then we're going to create a wash to complement our green. And then we're going to highlight up from 13 to 8 to 3, right? And that's kind of the formula that we're going to be following for this. So we're going to be highlighting up, adding a wash, and then going back on top. And that's something that... thinking back in my head, we have done, obviously, but all of our other classes have sort of been a different approach, just for specific contrast or whatever we're trying to do for that week. So this is gonna be a little bit different, but you guys can handle it just fine. While we're waiting on that though to dry, let's go ahead and move on to doing her bandana that she is wearing. So for that, if her friend is wearing green, so to speak, then we're going to be focusing, I would assume, the blue, purple, and the orange red. So that magenta on the left, like the very first column, that's sort of her colors. And then the brown is literally just going to be bags or whatever. That's no big deal, right? But so that's going to be kind of her color scheme. And I'm feeling a blue bandana because that's going to really pop against the magenta orange and the purple. So that's all we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get a number 24. You can see number 24 is gray, but I also feel like it's more of a really dark teal. Of course, we won't really know if that's true or not until I get working with the color here. So I'm going to put some of that on there. I'm going to get some German gray out. You can use black to mix in. Oh my God. Okay. It just burst on my finger. So I'll wipe that off right there, as you can see. But so you also may have just a dark teal. I don't, so I can't really mix that, but you can check the color right there. That looks a little bit, it needs to be a little bit darker. And that almost too dark, of course. Now I need more. This German gray paint, I love it. I used to use it a lot. I'm actually using it a lot on this Rising Sun stuff that's finishing up because they have a lot of... I have a whole critique I can do about Rising Sun artwork, but... Alright. A lot of it has this accent color that's black but not black, so German gray gets used a lot. Okay, so we're going to throw this on. This color has a lot of pigment and it's watered down, so it's going to look like I'm putting a ton on her, but that's not really what's going on. Not sure on the hair yet or anything like that. We may let that be painter's choice, so to speak. All right. Oh, I was trying to figure out if that was Arthur making noise behind me. It was not. Okay, so that's a nice dark sort of neutral tone. I'm assuming when it dry. Is the German gray? Yes. Got a Reaper sample. Oh, did you for real? See, one of my favorite Reaper colors is a sample, and I think it may be in front of me. Okay, I don't see it right now. But yeah, one of my favorite Reaper colors is a denim color that's a sample. If it was darker, it would be perfect, so you probably lucked out as well. Got a cool sample. Ah, there we go. You can see it drying right there. Perfect color. So, bingo. Now then, our little friend there in person, on camera, at least at what I'm looking at, it's a little bit too bright. It's pretty much like it's like a mix between an 18 and a 23. In like person in front of me, it is closer to a 23. I could go back over it one more time. Whatever, screw it. We'll go over it one more time. That's no issue. And actually, I'm going to add some of that German gray into my green here to get it exactly what I want. There we go. Cool. So I'm just going to go over them one more time like we were doing. You can see that's much more neutral. I don't even know if that's dark enough yet. I think what's going on, it's always a color balance game, but I think it's the gray primer pushing back against it. So, all right, that's that. Pretty simple beginning steps here. Now then, what I would like to do for her, we're gonna end up doing a the magenta orange top is gonna be the top. The pants are gonna be the same. The skirt's gonna be purple. How easy was that? Very cool. So let's go ahead and get started with the base coat of the red. We're just gonna paint the way that I would typically paint, which is all base coats first. We're not gonna do it piecemeal at a time. Now, if you are more comfortable doing it piecemeal, hang out. Obviously, it's gonna be, I mean, obviously that's how this is gonna pan out anyway. But that's how I'm gonna be doing it. I'm gonna be using a model color Carmine red. It's sort of that like kind of more pinkish red than an orangey red, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna use that as my base right up here, and I'm gonna mix in Crusted Soa from Army Painter. It's a little more blue than denim. That's cool. Yeah, I love test colors because it's like always exactly what you didn't know you wanted, and you can never get more. So, R.I.P. Now, if you actually went to the Reaper factory, rumor has it, if you ask them and you're there, they might be able to pump you a bottle and ring you up, because that's just how Reaper rolls. They're a great company. All right, so you can see these two colors right here. We got the Carmine, we got the darker color. I'm just gonna be chill for a second here and try and mix it together wonderfully so. And look at that. Almost instantly, it's exactly what we wanted. It's a nice sort of pinkish, deep red. Awesome, awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that onto her shirt and her pants underneath the skirt. What do we call those? Well, I guess just pants. I was thinking like bloomers, right? Because those are like underwear pants, but this obviously is not this chick's underwear because she's not that kind of gal. But you can see right there, it's looking real dark red, but I'm assuming when it dries, it'll chill out and we'll get more of that carmine color. This should be fun color as well because it goes really magenta instead of red at number 11. If you look at the palette, number 11 obviously is a very magenta-y color. Now, what I can't tell is if that's a necklace or if that's a part of the shirt, so we're just going to pretend that that's a totally separate piece of cloth right up around her neck, and then we're going to keep throwing this color on. But, so like I said, right, so we've got this really deep red that we're rocking right now, then it goes really, really magenta, and then it goes orange. So this should look awesome. It should be like a very, very cool color that's going to pop really well against all the other colors we chose for the palette, and it should work pretty well. So, we'll see. I like it. Maybe a two-coat situation too, because I'm definitely noticing our coverage isn't as badass, but whenever you're painting with red, you guys already know, it's a color you gotta fight with. Doesn't work out of the jump, as with other colors. You gotta do a coat or two, depending on the brand. So I'm gonna let her hang out for just uno momento. You can see now our little weird frog friend here. Sample bottles $1. $1. You can see our little friend here, though. I mean, it's close enough for what I want. It's fine. I really was just playing around too much trying to mix that color. I don't know why I just didn't grab a dart. I had it behind me. I could have just grabbed it, so I'm sure you'll have better luck. But so we got that going out. And you know what? We're already there, so let's do it, dude. Let me get a purple out. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, gonna get this purple out. We're gonna do her skirt too. Let's just get it popping. What's cool is we're gonna be doing sort of alternating color washes on it. So if you thought what we were gonna be doing was just putting some strong tone over this lady right here, you are gonna be mistaken today, my friend. Because we're making our washes. And we're just using water. We're not gonna be using, you know, wash mixing medium, anything like that. We're just gonna be using good old-fashioned agua. All right, here she is. Dark part right here. I'm just covering everything. Who cares about the accessories? You know, we're coming back. I feel like this is going to be one of those paint jobs that's ugly until after we get to the wash point. So post washes, once we, what is that? Okay. After the washes are done, right, that stage, I guarantee you it's gonna be a whole different story once we start highlighting everything back up, because the colors really work best together. Sort of, if you look at the palette, once you hit not the first row but the second row, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That and the one beneath it, though, that's where you're really going to be getting the most sort of complementary and analogous. So the color scheme for this is a little bit analogous as well, because you're dealing with, it's for sure analogous whenever you're looking at, analogous when you're looking at like 6, 8, 9, 11, 13, 14, things like that. You did just get the complete wash. Well, trust me, you're going to use it. Those washes are great. What we're doing today is for you to just sort of look at the painting process separately. So, maybe you already paint like this. I don't know. It isn't necessarily something that we've covered previously, so that's why I thought this would be a smart idea. And, you know, figuring out how to use your paints as a wash is definitely important, because a lot of people will end up saying like, oh, it looks streaky, right? It doesn't look as good, it's streaky. Well, when I say the word wash for today, we're talking about a verb, we're not talking about a noun, if that makes sense, right? We're talking about the technique and the application, and not like applying a wash, so to speak. We're gonna be washing things. It'll make sense once we get there, but a little bit of a different setup. So she's got a big old belt that she's rocking underneath all those little accessories she has. So I'm just gonna bring it up to the belt. I don't know what she's holding either. I'm a little bit confused in that arm, but anyway. So that's the belt on the back side. All right, cool, chill, great. So I'm gonna do one more coat of her red, and then we can just start moving our way up on everything else. There we go. This is like perfect coverage. Second time around. Look at that. Gotta love an opaque base coat. Laura was here helping me today, and she was knocking out some extra base coat stuff, like, you know, using different browns, painting like just random bags, stuff like that, or prepping some other stuff. And she's real good at knocking out base layers. Like, she's really tidy. I'm pretty messy, but, you know, everybody's a little bit different. Okay. Stick? Oh, in her hand? dick. She got a knife in one. I think it was like, because she has like another container right here in the front. It's like a cup or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. Even at ReaperCon, like, I don't even know if the artwork made sense because they had big banners when you were there because she was one of the ReaperCon Dreadmere people. So, I'm gonna let you oh, I had my driver's license here the whole time. That's funny. So I'm gonna let you guys catch up because obviously I'm ready to keep moving. So I'm gonna give you guys about a minute or two. Is she in focus if I like, oh, what if I do this? Let me see. I'm trying to figure out where I can just leave her, you know? How can I do that? Like this? Well, you know, you'd think life would be easy here, but it is me. Whatever. You know what she looks like. You know what you're doing. Let's pop the little bean off here. You can see Arthur is definitely super asleep behind us. He's had a long day. Sail tie-down peg thing. Dog, hold on. Is it a seeing eyeglass? Is it an extendable seeing eyeglass? If it is, we can't see the back end. But that might be a seeing eyeglass, or whatever you call it. You know, the thing that stretches out. The whole fact that you just said she's a pirate, I was like, wow. You can see the delay that we have, too. Actually, can you let me know the delay between you okay, I want to figure out the delay of the stream. So when you hear me say, type something in the chat right now and hit enter, do it right now. So, now I know where we're at. It looks like it's at least a 10-second delay. Getting close to 20 seconds. It may be a 30-second delay. Let's see. Yeah, it should be close to that, because I just saw my hand go up again. Yeah, so it's like a 30-second delay. Just from watching my face on the YouTube thing. Yeah, so we're looking at like a 30, 40-second delay on the video and when I talk. Just so you guys know. In general. In case you were wondering, it takes about 40 seconds. All right. Is everything dry here? It's looking good to me. Actually, my purple needs to be more purple? Like just more purple in general? Purple? More burble? Maybe if I mixed it with the blue and get it more burble? Let's see. I still don't think this is right, but we're gonna go ahead and throw it on. Yeah, it's a little bit more purple, but it's also a little bit more gray. So either way, my base colors are a fail this evening for two of them. It's okay. Again, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to. The whole point is that you're able to do it regardless of paint brand. That's sort of my thing. Is like I don't want to just make it easy for me and harder for you. You know? I don't know. We all own different paint, so if I can mix the paint, I'll mix it just so that I'm not, you know, flying through it super quick. Okay. So let's work on our friend here. Our little froggy creature. So here's the deal, okay? I have full confidence in your guys' ability to highlight up to number 13, because that's exactly what we're gonna do on this little critter. So we're just gonna move the palette this way. So I have my darker green, and then I have my more direct green, and then I'm also going to get like a straight up crazy sort of neon, bright ultra neon pastel-y green, and that's how I'm gonna highlight that color up in general. But this is pretty simple. Luckily, this is a nice little easy pet to paint. So first things first, I'm going to take our darker color, mix it with our true green to get a nice poppin' green, and I'm going to throw that on. Might throw a little bit of that in there. That actually is not going to work, the color that I just applied, because there's too much white in it. So I'm glad we tested that right there. That's not going to be a workable color. So instead, I've got two right here. Excuse me, reaching all over. Instead, I've got these two. We're gonna do that. That'll be much easier for my life. There we go. Look at that. Way better. Okay, we're cool now. We're cool. So now I got an 18, very close to 18. And we're just gonna highlight our little friend up here. At this stage 2, as usual, it's pretty much just color blocking. So you don't have to necessarily be precise. It's the step after the color blocking in the wash that you have to put a little bit more thought into. Do the tips of the toad toes. I'll just hit that whole area. I'll just overbrush that. Who cares, right? It's gonna give us what we need. Okay, and on the back here. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I had this like panicked thought that the mic had been muted this whole time, but as soon as I felt that way, I was like, you guys would have told. That was so funny. I just had like, boom, I immediately looked at the mic like, is it muted? Oh gosh. It's funny. Look at her little friend. Look at this guy. This is like Arthur. Arthur was a frog cat thing. So, you can see it's chilling out quite a bit as it dries, but I'm just going to keep highlighting up. So now I'm trying to get close to a 13-ish. With this color, don't go too crazy, since this is sort of your base highlight that's going to be battling against the wash that we put on. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to apply it. Essentially what we're doing today is getting you to highlight up and layer up and do all that stuff, but then go that extra mile that I always do. It's sort of like the reset button. You're gonna be going up, you're gonna wash it down, and you're gonna go back up, except we're gonna go way up. And we're making our own wash, so I don't know. I think this one's gonna be real beneficial for some of you guys based on some of the feedback and conversations that we have. I think this is good. Oh, and then for those of you that got the power-up palettes, they're going to be here tomorrow, and they're here and shipping tomorrow, so you're good to go. I had to wait on them this entire time. Like I said, I thought that my pickup date was last Friday, but that's the actual order date. That was stupid. That was just my bad, guys, but that is only one of some multiple really dumb problems that I had with trying to start this like store stuff recently. So you live and you learn. Okay, so that's it for the Froggy. Frog Boy's done. So here's the deal. Any brush that's actually sable, it is what it is. So like, let me see. We created the best brush for miniature painting. That should already let you know that you shouldn't buy their product. I'm kidding, but how could they honestly really say that? With their finest tips and large bellies, they will cover all your painting needs with the highest available Kolinsky hair. 00 and size 2 for the rest. That seems a little insane to me. And yeah, that price is stupid. Size 2 for your main brush? Why? Why would you skip between size 2 and 0s? No. No. That's a no for me, dog. Now, the thing is, so how much is it? It's Can I change my currency? No? So I can't change it to USD. So I know the, oh no, it's a euro. Okay, right. So I know the euro, we're doing good on conversion rate with the euro, but so let me do this real quick. Okay, so if you want to buy both of them, oh, free shipping. Okay, just kidding. Okay, so 14.95 euro is what, like 18? Oh, 17 USD. Nah, don't buy those. Why would you buy them? Buy either these Da Vinci's, like the Da Vinci Maestro. This is actually my favorite daily driver brush now. A Da Vinci Maestro, same price. Literally, actually I need to condition this guy, but hold on, I'll clean it. These brushes are beautiful, my favorite brush. And it has a leading hair as well in the middle, which has a little bit of white paint on it, which will come off when I clean it. But it has a leading hair as well, which really nice brushes have. Or you can buy a Winsor & Newton, or you can buy from our friends Warcolors, because literally you get three brushes for 17 bucks. So once again, right, like Redgrass makes products that they just want to put their brand on. So it, you know, I don't think there's anything special going on at all. So their holder's cool, but unfortunately their holder uses blue tack. So they just made a rotating blue tack holder, right? Like if you could lock the miniature in, then it would be revolutionary, but you can't. So, but there you go. Hope that answered that for you. All right, so our little froggy friend, at least mine, is pretty much ready to rock and roll. So for the wash on this, I want to use, I'm looking for my palette. Here we go. Okay. Okay, people, okay. Where are we? We're here. Okay. So, we are at green. If we want an analogous wash, we're looking for a warm wash. Complementary wash, 1, 2, 3. We could go with the yellow. That doesn't work. Or 1, 2, 3, a blue. We're probably going to use blue because we have green here. We're not going to use an orange. We could use purple, but we're already using purple on the miniature. Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to do a blue wash, but it's not going to be the same blue, obviously, that we used for our lady here. So, what I am going to do, I'm going to pick this Brilliant blue, which, let me find if it's dried in the cap, and of course, it's the wrong cap that's on it. But this blue is nice and deep and rich, so peep your eyeballs on it. This is maybe a royal blue by different brands. This could be a cobalt blue, potentially, cerulean, potentially. But just a pretty solid, I would say, like one step down in the darkness world blue. So not a super dark blue, but a relatively dark blue. You know, keeping it cool. So we're gonna go in deep on the palette cam here, guys, because I want you to see what's happening. Okay. I am taking this dry, empty brush. See how it's empty? There's no water on it, okay? And I'm going to take a full... You see what just happened with that brush? Actually, so hold on too. If you guys don't use... let me see this right here. Okay. So, see how we have this nice fine tip? The thing with real hair, natural hair bristles, look at that nice, sharp, perfect round shape, right? When you get it wet, they expand. And that's how you can do awesome feathering. See how it just turned into this big old clump, and then you go bang, bang? You knock the brush a couple times on your finger, and then it goes back to being that perfect shape. So I want you to kind of realize that. But what I'm doing is I'm taking one full brush load, and I'm putting it right next to our blue. 2 full brush load of water, boom, right next to the blue, and 3 full brush loads of water right next to the blue, okay? I'm gonna grab a brush tip. So look up at my brush, please. Look at how much I have here. It's not a lot, it's just sort of at an angle. I'm gonna put that in with all of our water, so look at that, okay? That 3-to-1 ratio is sort of the magic ratio. So now we have that mixed. Clean out your brush. Get it all out of your brush, okay? See, I cleaned it all out of the brush. You got a clean brush here. You don't want your wash there because you want to use this in a controlled manner. So you don't just want to be slamming a loaded brush back on top of the wash. We're going to be pulling from that, right, to do our work. So now with my non-totally just full of it brush, you can see it's still sort of expanded because it's mostly water. I'm going to be applying it in the shadows and recesses as we normally would. And we'll have to wait and see just how dark this is, if we need to go darker. That's also why I really like the periodic table of painting, because it allows you to sort of find these color solutions very, very quickly without any guesswork. You just look at it and you go, all right, we got green. What are my options? You know? And then you can follow the formulas if you would like as well that are built onto it, which I can show you that too while we wait for this to dry. So I've applied this wash. I can tell already where to drying that this is going to be great. So I'm just going to let it hang out and do its thing. But let me... okay, Josh, where'd you put that, you dummy? Okay, so like I was saying, we've got our table here, and you can take a peep. If I want my triad color, okay, so if I want to find 2 other colors that are going to work really well with whatever I'm working with, I'm going to take the color I have already, I'm going to find -5 and +5, and those are going to be my triad. You can see triad right here. It's this triangle shape. So we've got a green. Our mid green is like what? Number 78. It's either 78 or 95. I don't really care. But 78 means 73 is our triad. And check it out. Look. Literally, it's the exact color that we want. It's the dark blue that we're using. So it's crazy that this is how this works, right? Or 78 plus 5 would take us to 83, which we're obviously not going to make a wash out of orange. You could, but I don't think it's going to look as good. So, but it's amazing, right? Boom, boom, boom. It's the exact color that we already used. So, but that's why I like this thing. And then you can double check to make sure if you're relatively close. That's why I have these here at the bottom of the periodic table. Obviously, the difference with these is it's only this one color. So you do have to remember, since we're adding white across the top and since we're adding black across the bottom, there are options where you either get plus or minus. So with a complementary color, because of the tone change, the tone shift with the amount of black or the amount of white involved, it's either going to be +8 or -8. So we've got 70. What's 78? 78 is a very, very bright green from a magenta. So a bright green, check it out, is across from a magenta. So look, all I'm saying, guys, all I'm saying is, I'll be honest with you. I had 102 fever. I was trying to figure out how to make an organizational chart, and somehow the universe was like, dude, you hate your life, you're sick as a dog, right? Like, I know you're going through some stuff right now with this flu, so I'm gonna guide you into creating something that somehow works. I've shown this to other painters. It's gonna be featured on Painting Happy Little Minis. We're sending it around to other places. But literally, it wasn't my intention to come up with that formula system, but guess what? It works, y'all. So ring the alarm. All right, let's check out what we got going on with our buddy. You are in financial recovery, dude. You're good, bro. Brody. I know Peter bought a he bought a periodic table, and then he also bought the control plus video, and then I'm just giving him the color palette for free, right? So like, if you guys end up purchasing stuff, I always like to throw stuff in for free for y'all since we're Bambly family. So where this color is drying, it's actually working really well. It's taking a while to dry. So let me pinpoint this for you so you can see what I'm seeing. You see this gentle blue hue right around his fat jowl? That's what it looks like dry. You can see it starting to dry here in his little frills. This is a beautiful color transition, especially if we're highlighting up from this with a neon bright green. It's gonna look gorgeous. So we're gonna let that dry. We're done with it. Boom, it's dead to us. You know what we're moving on to next? The blue bandana. Let's do that. Let's get our little bluey bandana popping. So, and actually this class has been the first time I've really been noticing the difference in the camera quality, being able to help me identify and show you guys stuff that I haven't before. So I'm definitely happy about that. All right, so now we're moving back into our little blue bandana phase. So, I'm just gonna be moving up. Wait, what do I need though to actually move up? White. I need white on the palette. I don't even want to say that word because I was painting so much white recently. It just really upsets me nowadays. It's like trying to paint white is just, it's a fool's errand. And unfortunately, you gotta do it. All right, so Laura was here, and I think I put my white over here. So I'm blaming Laura, but it's not her fault, it's my fault. So, looks like we're actually going to be using Warcolor's one coat white on this, which is absolutely nutso. But I'll just drop a little bit right there and be very sparing. I'm going to add in just some of this dark, gross, purpley German gray to get that sort of base color again. There it is. Let me move that palette there. I'm working here on the very far left. I'm going to add more of our blue, and that's where I'm going to start working up from. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a tad bit of that white. There we go. Okay. We're highlighting up. You guys know how to do this. I believe in you. Highlighting up with this color. Highlighting up with this color. Highlighting up with this color. I'm gonna wash it down and go back to this color. See, that's a song you can use in your head. It'll make you a better painter, guys. And ladies. Who just bought something? Somebody just bought something. Because it said I got charged 81 cents. David Clearman. Hoot hoot. What'd you actually get? Let me see what you ordered. Squarespace. I don't want to see that one. I want to see this one. What'd you get, the combo? I don't remember. I think you got the combo, right? Or what'd you get? Oh, wow, you got the poster. You're the first person to order the poster. Actually, don't make money on the poster, so. I don't know, but it's all good. Don't worry. I make like, I think I make $7, so. Still helps me out. But you're the first person to order the poster, so that's going to look really awesome. Just letting you know. It's going to look beautiful on a wall. I'm actually excited that you got that. So, essentially what I'm going to be doing is just drop shipping you the poster, and it should arrive in a nice, beautiful poster tube, so. But I'm actually excited to see how that. I only have the small ones. I don't have a big one yet. So I am very interested to see it as soon as you get it. I know it's gonna look so cool. I would have one. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna pull down my rack I have in front of me. The wall-mounted rack that I bought that I thought that I would use. I don't even touch it with my extra paint. So I think I'm gonna pull that down. I'm gonna put the big periodic table on top of it. But back to this wonderful pirate lady. Yeah, what I need to do, so it's kind of it's a little bit of a process. So like I was saying, I don't make any crazy money on these. It's more of just a product. Yeah, going on your wall above your paint station, right? That's where I would want to put it. But so what I can do though eventually, right, is essentially I just save up some cash. And then I just do a big bulk order, and then I have inventory. But for right now, it's pretty much made to order. So, which is totally fine. Trust me, I am the master of being patient when it comes to anything involving this painting business, dude. Like, I have really learned how to just wait your turn, so to speak, and letting magic happen. So now I am right about at number 14, which is going to be our last color that we mess with here. With her. On her bandooner before we wash it down. And honestly, this looks pretty good. So, looks pretty good. Oh, Brian, okay. If you're getting a poster... Okay, here's... okay, that doesn't work. I was trying to see if there was a way that I could potentially send you some of the other stuff in with a poster, but I think that would actually ruin like that lamination on the other stuff doesn't really like to play around, so I would probably ruin it by trying to shove it in there with you. But okay, cool. So then what I'll do is I'll figure out if it's smarter for me to just make both of yours at once, or find a drop shipping option that's better. So either way, it's all good. But I was assuming more people would go for the larger one, but having the tabletop one as well, if you don't have room like me, then that is probably obviously the best option. So you can see how bright I went with it. We stopped right at about 14. We're keeping it real chill with her hat. She's rocking her hat sort of like how I rock my beanies, halfway rolled up. The high fashion beanie is how you would describe that. But oh, yeah, right. Again, this delay always messes with me. Yeah, so Brian, in my head, I was just trying to see if I know you're buying one, if it would make sense for me to just have two made up front, but I don't think it makes sense for me to do that if I was going to try and send something extra for you guys, because it wouldn't fit in the container. I also don't know how to, I don't even know how to do postage on a poster tube, so, okay. Either way, we are done there. So, I'm gonna look back at my Deuterino here. So we've got a nice sort of, you know, like one of these colors, probably like this or like this one, number 60, I don't know. So we're gonna go this way. It wants purple. So we're gonna go for purple. We're gonna go for purple. A nice purple wash. We're gonna apply. All right, so guys, if you look at this palette here, I have some of my purple still. You can see me moving it around right here, right? So I'm just gonna make a nice dark purple by mixing my purple with our beautiful dark blue that we used previously, and I've got a nice purple hue going. And then I'm just gonna add 3 brushfuls of water over here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, and I'm just gonna shove all of my purple paint here together. Boom, 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 check it out, cool. I'm gonna add a little bit more blue, boom, boom, boom. All right, our wash is good. So, like I did last time, I'm gonna wash the brush out, because you don't wanna go crazy. Get a little bit on the tipperino, and I'm gonna apply it. This should be nice and subtle. Oh, it's perfect. It's gonna be perfect, guys. All this is so good. So good. Ben S. Oh my god, it's Ben. Oh my god, it's Ben on YouTube. Are you literally joking? Jeez, dude. Jeez, dude. I don't even want to finish this class now that Ben's in the chat. Like, that's really killing the vibe in here, you know what I mean? I'm trying to see if I have anything random of yours sitting here, and I don't. It's all elsewhere. Oh, no, I do. Well, you've already seen that, so who cares? Yeah, it's all behind me. Anyway. Check out that purple as it dries. Look at that. Nice and toning it and keeping it chill. Look at that. And you can see what I was talking about on our green boy. See how nice and subtle it is where it's actually dry? So nice. So subtle. Look at that. It's already dry. It's already drying for us. I love it. That's why you... Actually, here's your explanation. The reason why I mix the wash, I clean my brush, and then I only get a little bit of that wash back onto the brush, because that way it's not super loaded and it's gonna dry relatively quickly. So, bada bing, bada boom. It is what it is. So, now I'm going back to my 14 that we had previously. I'm just gonna move the palette back over there. Every time I move the palette cam, that's kind of the thing. So now I'm just gonna go back over our areas while gently embracing the hue shift of our wash. So because yeah, making your own pigment wash like this by using just paint. While something like a dark tone, a strong tone, right? Those are awesome utility washes that I use all the time. If you want to create a nice shift in value, like we've done there, I mean, look at that. This is all we did, was just... Yeah, seeing them in action makes it a lot simpler. And I think I'm going to do a small video as well and put it in the gallery area where like you see the pictures of the product, so it makes sense. I obviously can't really do that for the, well, I guess I can for the power-up palettes and everything too, but didn't really want to. But you can see it's so subtle, so awesome. That's why I like painting in this style, because this is just more an advanced way of managing your color, so to speak. The more you move in this direction, adding in, like, essentially what you can do, right? If you want to get something real crispy and smooth, same way I use Money Wash and things like that, I would use a traditional wash to get it dark, and then apply a colored wash on top to change the hue. But so there we go, we've got her back to her number 14 highlighted on the bandana. I'm gonna push it to 9 by adding a little bit more white and a little bit more of my direct sort of tealy, whatever, sky blue. I'm just gonna go in and do some deets here, some details. Okay, cool, okay, cool, okay, cool. Cool. Gonna move up to number 4, so pretty much just white mixed in with my last color. I'm just gonna do the edges. Nothing crazy here. Oh boy, that is very bright, so be very careful depending on how much you just mixed, because I went overboard for sure. This is way too bright, so I gotta be real careful. Real sparing, but you see I'm being chill with it. Oh my gosh, that actually... Okay. Okay, better than I thought. Okay. I'm not gonna say anything, but better than I thought. Okay. Let's do a little front details. I gotta get real close to this camera like a creeperino, just so I can make sure I'm hitting these correctly. Probably out of focus. Oh, okay, whatever. Oh, yeah, definitely out of focus there, sorry. With this new camera, whenever I'm zoomed in, the level of fidelity, or like the level of distance I have to work with is so much less than a webcam, like I was used to. Pretty much just because the webcam is like digitally pulling in a not that crazy lens, and this lens is like macro level, so I can go too far way too easily with it. But I like this color. I think we're done with this color. Let me see if I can... Where are we at? Nope, that's full blast. Let me see which way. Oh. Where you at, lady? There she is, nice and crisp. All right. Love it. All right, let's go back to our frog friend. We haven't been giving him the love he deserves. So I'm gonna just gently reapply some of that 13 back to sort of the broader areas. So pretty much just the top of the nose and top of the jowl zone. I should open up a... oh, my eyes just watered, sorry. I should open up a restaurant called the Jowl Zone, and all it does is sell calzones. I'll be here all week, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now I'm going for that 8. That numero etino. Talking real bright. Sorta. It's a little bit dulled out. With this, we're gonna start getting real picky. So I'm gonna hit each eyeball. I'm gonna hit sort of some of these ridges, or not the ridge, but the actual like middle part. I don't know what the term would be for that. This is a made-up fake frog newt creature, so don't sue me. And I'm gonna do the top of the jowl, and the top of the little crown here, and top of the nose, down to the tip of the nose, keeping it transitioning the whole time if I can. Okay. This dude's like a little Pokemon, man. She literally is a pirate with a Pokemon. What's not to like? Unless you just like have beef with Pokemon, but it's pretty harmless. Okay. Let's go do the back here. The back should already be doing most of the work for you from those washes and our highlighting. Pretty cool, right? And then now I'm applying my brightest of the brightest, number 3. This color is super hella bright, so I'm making sure to thin it down quite a bit. Quite a bart. And then you'll see me apply it here. So before you go crazy and get all brave, watch me how I'm putting it on, just so you can get the vibe. Real little, real subtle. Just beep boop, you're out of there. Hitting the eye, top of the ridge. Again, there we go. Top of the mouth jowl opening. Top on this side. What you do whenever you're, you know, utilizing washes that you've made is you're really trying to utilize the subtle shade and shift in color that you can't really do on your own. Now I'm going to be tapering the color towards the tip of the nose. And hopefully that sort of brings it all together. But it's that subtle transition of color. You know, you can't do it with an airbrush. You can't really do it. You can do it through traditional layering, but boy, is it a lot of work. So doing a color pigment wash like we're practicing tonight is such a handy dandy tool. All right, let's check them out. Pretty bright. It isn't like crazy bright for me, but the camera makes it look pretty crazy. I'm grabbing another green to sort of bring it all in together. Make that transition a little bit easier to stomach. There we go. All right, Frog Friend is done. Look at that awesome color. If you can take 2 seconds to just look at his little profile shot there. I mean, so I know what one of those are, but they definitely aren't the size of my cat. I would take one though, if that were the case. Actually love like newts and stuff and salamanders. I think they're so cool. But, so check that out, man. We've got that nice blue shadow transition, all those beautiful colors, bada bing, bada boom. Look at this paint job coming together. We got it, guys. All right. Other than figuring out, you know what? Actually, hold up. I'm gonna take my teal. I'm gonna mix it with my crazy, that was too much water. Gosh darn it. Try again. I'm gonna take my teal here. I'm gonna mix it with my brightest green color that I just did. So now it's like a crazy light green blue, and that's what I'm gonna go through on these little, its little gills, its little lungs here. I'm gonna dot every single one, baby. This is a challenge. I wanna see your dots. I wanna see you do this exact thing. If you're scared, then you better do it. If you think you can't do it, I want to see you do it. I want to see you ruin this miniature on the gills. Why? Because guess what? You can just apply a wash and try again. But I want to see you try. I want to see you go in. We're going in on this paint job. We're really pushing our limits here in terms of what I'm expecting out of you, and I'm expecting to see you try this. I don't want to see you cheat and dry brush either. I'm going to be able to tell. You know I can tell. I'm like your parent. If you're lying to me, I'm going to know. Alright. Now, if we were trying to do this like the real critter, these would be painted like Oregon red and pink. The little gills, which would look really cool. Obviously, the contrasting color to green is red or orange, and so it'd be perfect. But we're just gonna keep it canon with what we've already been doing. It's like it's glowing. All right, Brian, challenge accepted. I know you got it. Brian can do it. Ben, of course, sitting in complete silence. He's like, I'm not even gonna say anything. I don't even know why I'm here. I'm kidding. Every group of friends has that friend. And that friend for us is Ben. So, you know how it is, man. I'm actually applying this sort of cool blue color to the fin down its back as well, just to give it a little bit of an extra shift. But he's finished. We're done messing around with that. That is a happy little animal. We are happy little painters. So, let's move on to our purple skirt. This is going to be very simple. Very simple. Why? Because we're just going to use a dark reddish brown. That's all. That's all we're doing. Grab any dark brown color you have. Add a little bit of your red that's already on the palette, or if you don't, I don't care. But just we're going to go with like a deep little sort of red on top of the purple. It's going to have to be dark. I mean, honestly, we could use like a strong tone with a little bit of brown paint mixed in too. You just want something warm. Anytime I do purple, just keep it cool. We've already used a blue. Blue obviously would work on purple, but we've already used it right there on our friend, so we're gonna go the opposite direction. Plus, right, it's gonna play well because we have the warm red on top with a warm red shadow below, and guess what we're gonna do up top? We're gonna do a cool blue shadow on the red, so it'll be like a contrasting thing. So, got my brown, I've got my red. I'm gonna make a little bit of a wash out of that. You guys already know the drill. I'm gonna get the actual paint color that I want to use. Sorry, I should say I'm gonna create the color of the wash out of the paint first before adding water. There you go. I believe that's probably the sequence of words I should have said there. And then adding our water as per usual. Still looks too bright, so I'm gonna add some of that neutral color that you can't even see what's happening. I'm sorry, I forgot I moved that, guys. So here's the color that I'm rocking with here. It's very wet and shiny. Sorry for that reflection. Well, that's not helping you at all, so sorry. But you'll be able to see here when I apply it. There we go. But it's a very, very dark color. So I'm gonna apply it all over as we normally do. You can see it's brown, it's also reddish. There's even blue in it, but application-wise, with that sort of neutral gray color, or neutral gray purple, it'll allow us to get some shifting in there. So we're just gonna shift it. This color's already dark, so I don't need this to be crazy dark, because remember, we're highlighting that purple. If you look at number 5, that's like a very pastel bright purple on the palette, so that's why we're already dark. If you remember the contrast class, right, where we're messing with dark and light colors, and the light, yeah, whatever, both of the contrast classes, you'll remember that you can play with that value. So since this color is already dark, we're just kind of rocking it as is. So we're gonna let that color dry. It should be pretty nice to us. And you know what? I already have blue on the palette. I'm gonna take the purple that I had out there previously. Jeez, it's not in frame, sorry. I'm gonna take the purple I had previously. I'm gonna add some more blue to it to get it nice and deep. And then I'm just gonna wash that on top of our red blouse as well. So check the red blouse for the color that I'm applying. I'm going all out with this color. This is definitely like too much wash, but I want it to darken that a lot. It's going on the pant leg as well, down at the bottom, and that's gonna chill out, that's gonna dry. It's very, very close in tone to the rest of that shirt color, if not a little bit brighter. So I personally am gonna have to see that dry to see if we messed up or not, but you can see we're creating a very, very complementary tone here, or not in the color sense, so I should probably use a different word. We're creating a very unified color. So notice how it's already drying on the top of the red, and then you see that brown red drying in the purple. We've created a yin-yang effect on the outfit with the colored shadow by creating the wash that you wouldn't really be able to do otherwise, unless you sort of had those colors in your head and you wanted to start with a dark brown and then go to the purple, start with a dark purple, go to the red, and then meet in the middle. But why would you do that? That's so much extra work. Paint smart, paint easy, just make a colored wash. So we're gonna let that chill and dry for a minute. I'm gonna let you guys catch up. So we're just gonna plop her on the base and we're gonna take a pause. What time is it anyway? Been going for over an hour? Cool. I mean, hey, we're doing good for over an hour. Check it out. Within the next 10 minutes, we're gonna have the shirt and the skirt finished. And then it's just accessories, skin, and hair. So, and then painting the base, which we can do at any point. So, dolphinitely happy with our stream. Dolphinitely. Now, why would Scale Bro like my photo? What photo did he like? Okay. If I see that guy like any of the pictures for the power-up palettes or stuff, you better believe I'm gonna send him a cease and desist. Because that's the type of company that would copy me. I do not trust those people. Alright. Thank you again, David, for that. You know, it's funny. I've only had a little bit of coffee today, so sorry that I'm winding down so early, so to speak. Let's see. All right, so the poster is 18 by 24. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, cool. Yeah, I should be able to drop ship that to you pretty easily. Yeah. Alright, cool. I can laminate it if you want as well, so definitely drop that in the chat if you're interested. It'll be a reflective, like normal lamination, so if you're not into that, do let me know. Alright, so let's take a peep at our purple. Look at the tone that purple's creating on the red. Look at that. Look at that. Let's check out her chest in the creepiest way possible, fellas. Fellas. Alright, there we go. Look at that real smooth shadow that's popping down on that. Look at that. That's awesome. That's looking good. The brown on the purple is just subtle enough to be awesome. Yeah, that's great. Oh, I don't know if you noticed. The shirt that she has underneath the other shirt. Oh, it's a necklace. It's not a shirt. Boom. I literally couldn't see that until we zoomed in with the lens. That's a necklace she has. Right there. Okay. Okay. Okay, Reaper. Okay, Reaper. Chill out. Chill out with your crazy sculpting. All right, still drying. I'm going to let it all dry completely. Let you guys catch up completely. Let your stuff dry. And then we'll just attack it and move on. So, no lamination? Cool. easy peasy. I probably wouldn't want it laminated, only because my lights would like 100% of the time reflect it back at me. So, but depending on your lighting situation, you know. Wait a minute now. I love it when I see messages that like kind of confuse me terribly. All right, we should be all right to kind of move forward here. So let's do the purple. I feel like the purple is going to be so simple, so simple. So because pretty much we're just highlighting up with white. Can't go wrong. That's as easy as you could possibly make it. So I'm gonna pick a different part of this palette here that we haven't really been messing with. Right there. I'm gonna need some new white on the palette as well. So we'll get that out as well right here. Just a little bit, because it is the one coat. And then I'll dirty up this purple with deeper paint. Oh. All right, so I got my deeper color. This is pretty much 15, which is where we left off anyway. So I am not making sense of the, there we go. All right. So. Throwing the highlight in here. This is actually looking really drastic, but I think when it dries, it's not going to be as intense. If it is as intense, we're going to step back a sec, but this should be all right. Yeah, it looks so bright on camera. That's crazy. I'm hoping when it dries, though, that's not the case. Otherwise, I'll just wash it down again, but... Oh, no, it's totally fine. Look at it dry right there on the left-hand side. Yeah. We're good. We're okay. Just be careful. That's all. You don't want to blow it out. There we go. There's that transition. There's the transition I've been looking for. Oh man, guys, I didn't eat dinner before we got started. Was that a bad idea? This happened the last time we did a 7 o'clock class, and then like right about now my stomach started like eating itself and I'm in pain. See, this is what happens when I don't have a girlfriend, because I don't have someone who also is like, hey, I'm hungry, and then I'm like, oh, right. I'm supposed to be eating. I literally like need someone to remind me to survive. Or I could just set a reminder on my phone. But either way. Alright, we're getting back up there. We're getting back up there. So as with the other stages that we've been doing here with this purple, you're gonna only want to highlight it up a little bit. This is obviously a dark color. You guys know how that goes. So I'm just gonna be going right at the edges. And that's pretty much it. Keeping it really subtle. I need to be a little bit thinner. There we go. I am about to sneeze. I feel it coming on. Uh-oh. Yeah, you can see right there how I feathered that to smooth it. I'm not happy with this area. We need to smooth that out. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my gosh, what's going on? I don't even have Kleenexes after I was sick. I didn't buy more. So we gotta do the paper towel nose blow. Not my favorite way to blow my nose, but when you gotta do it, you gotta do it. All right, so that's, you know. I'm not happy with our purple. Or at least on camera. Actually, I take that back. I'm a psychopath. It looks fine from what I'm seeing here, actually in front of me. So whenever I take photos later with the other with this camera, but just unplugged, it'll be all right. I'm actually going in with some of that brown. Sort of chill back out some of the definition. But in case you were wondering, no, I'm not very impressed with this purple currently. I don't know why. It just didn't bang the way I was expecting it to, but it's okay. As long as we're leaving it mostly dark, then the focus will be on the brighter aspects, so... Like the shirt, which is where we're moving next. Sorry, I was out of the live dashboard. Okay. Her shoulders are exposed too. Yes, you are correct. So, let's bounce up on our reds. So we've got a nice little carmine red here. So really I'm going to move back to, I'm really applying like a number 16 first. Before we start going any crazier. Purple wash turned out, or the blue purple wash, whatever it was, blue, I guess, right? On that shirt, it's just popping. It looks so good. Okay, so now I'll be layering in a direct, sort of that pinkish magenta red, which is this carmine red that I'll be using. Where am I out on the palette? Over there? Okay. I am going to be careful with this, obviously, as with the other sections, just to get all the detail I can in it. Remember too, this red is the red that's going to translate from that nice blue shadow and then get us over to the orange that we're about to hit it with next. So, while you may do one coat and it looks good, remember, you want this full color. Otherwise, that jump to an orange may be too much of a jump to an orange. So that's why I'm going back over it multiple times. Let me just zoom in. I feel like that's why I can't actually see what's happening. There we go. Who would have thought red with blue shadows wouldn't be like something very obvious, right? Like when you look at it close enough, right? It's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's like blue. But I don't think you would necessarily assume for that to be like the operational shadow color for red. So I always find that stuff cool. Like playing around with color for me is the fun part of painting. Because it could be a boring sculpt, but if it allows me to do something cool with color, that automatically is an A+ in my book. So, wow, there's like 2 Arthur hairs, 2 floaters on that brush. I'm gonna clean it off. All right, now I need an orange. Now then, I'm actually gonna be using this orange Oh, this straight up just says it's red, but it's from War Colors, and it's like a crazy orange red, so. But that's gonna be my next color I'm going for. As we move our way to that awesome, very light number 1. So, as with the other colors, we're gonna be real cool about this. You wanna keep your cool. You don't wanna go too far too quick. So, you wanna keep these highlights small. You wanna keep them refined and appropriate to where they are. So, okay, I'm happy with it. All right, sorry, let me actually get that in focus for you. All right, there you go. If you want to peep it real quick, you can see that really awesome color transition. Look at how well all these colors are sort of just jiving together because of the colored shadows. I love it. Cool. All right, so now I'm going for like an actual light orange color. I'm going to be using Reaper's Marigold Yellow, but any kind of like brighter orange like that. I'm just going to mix it in with what I have on the palette, and it should play nicely. If it doesn't, I'm just going to throw the color away. All right, looks like I'm going to throw the color away. Just kidding. Arthur just decided to jump. Sorry, it has such a satin sheen because we're using red paint that it's actually hard for me to get this on camera. Red paint typically is almost always sort of satiny, which will drive you crazy if you're somebody like me that uses lots of nice lights, because all of a sudden you're like, I can't see anything, what's going on? So, I do apologize for that, but do know I am layering in those highlights the way that we should be, so. Alright. Let me just completely change this. That's the wrong direction, guy. There we go. I keep removing this song from the play. Oh my gosh, this app is trash. Okay. So I'm happy with that. Bada bing, bada boom. Other than the brown, that's it, man. So what I'm gonna do really quick. What in the world just fell? All right, so actually, we're gonna chill out here for 2 seconds. We're gonna do some skin. I think that's the next thing on the agenda. So we're gonna do this a little bit differently. I'm going for sort of a warmer that is so funny. I was about to say a rosy skin tone, and literally it's rosy skin. That's just how I was describing it. I wasn't actually planning on using a rosy color, but that's what I would like for this, because we're going to do a colored skin wash as well, which I think some of you may appreciate more than sort of the you get what you get skin washes out there. I am gonna go all the way up to the tip, like the back of her neck, or whatever, where her neck meets her head. But like, sorry, I'm getting like real close. That's why I'm not in focus. I'm going all the way back to the neck there, but I'm not painting it all the way. I do want to force a disconnect. And then on the shoulders, I'm gonna keep it pretty chill. What you don't want to do, make sure I'm in focus. So take 2 seconds to stop what you're doing to look what I'm about to do. I want to leave some of that blue so that it keeps that effect on the red. See what's happening here? I want to keep some of that blue. There you go. That's as far as that goes down. Wow, my brush started to dry, that paint started to dry. That was an odd timing stitch, that paint. All right, this shoulder. And then we've got some foots and a leg, so let's do that. Just basing it, just base coating it, easy, easy. Just make sure you get good coverage, whatever skin you're using. I am using more of a rosy skin tone. Just because I know that that's the color that we're gonna do the wash on it, so. So hopefully this has been helpful for you though, in sort of realizing that you can use literally just your paints to do washes. It's just a matter of knowing how to actually use them correctly at the right step. A lot of the times whenever people say, I don't like making my own washes because they come out looking streaky, the problem that you're running into is that you're applying a color that's too dark or just doesn't potentially even work with what you're trying to put it on top of. With a wash, it has to be almost, you know, I would say within a 5% plus or minus realm of the tone that you're applying. So remember, tone being the amount of white or black in a color. That's why the blue that we applied to our nice red worked so well, right? Because it was close to the same tone. Same with the blue that we applied to the green. Like, all of these have been relatively similar in terms of tone, and hue. But now that that stuff's dry, that skin dried like instantly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take actually some of the brown and some of that carmine color and do our typical 3:1 ratio. But you want some of that carmine, you want that like pinkish color. I'm gonna clean out my brush completely as we did previously. I'm gonna go back in, and if you would so please take 2 seconds here to watch me apply it to her face so you can see the amount of which this wash is actually doing anything. It's almost nothing. So I'm purposefully pushing this around. Let me get real ugly and close for you. All right. Oh, whoops. There's a hand there on that side. Okay. So this wash is going to be obviously really warm and rose colored, as with the skin tone sort of base that I went with. And then we'll go like more brown, but this is sort of the direction that I want to go with first, because I feel like we're trying to tint the color and then we can create more of a shadow after that. Could be wrong, could be right, we'll see. Much of this paint job, I feel like, has been sort of like, yeah, I think this will work fine, and then it, you know, sort of turns out. All right, so you can see a nice, messy, sort of slobbery, gross wash, at least up close. If I zoom out, I swear it doesn't look like hot garbage. You know how it goes with miniatures. There we go. It's really subtle. So now I'm just gonna add more brown straight up turn that into a wash, same ratio we've been doing the whole night. I'm going to go back over just around the edges in the shadows, and this dark brown is what's going to give us our shadow. So we tinted it a little bit with the rosy color, and then the brown is going to be really the base for any of the definition in the skin. So you can see how that was applied. Going deep on the foot. Actually, really all this skin's getting the treatment pretty well. And you know what I'm going to do with her hair, to be honest with you? It's already gray, so I'm just going to take some German brown, turn that into a wash, and we're just going to make almost black hair. That's all. You can do any... Actually, I mean, hey, painter's choice on the hair, but that's what I'm going to do just to save us some time, because we're already getting close to our 2 hours of rocking and rolling. So what I'm doing is I'm applying this wash to where it's showing the detail more on the top, and then I'm taking the actual German gray and overbrushing it on the bottom so that I get more of a depth of transition. But we're gonna let that dry, we're gonna see what it looks like, and then we'll revisit. Skin's cool though. Skin's a good base color for us to work with. Actually, what I'm gonna do right now is black the base out, because that'll also show us where our contrast is at. Alright. Let me see. How do I hold this metal mini and do the base? That's the question. Obviously, I would texture it after, or before, well, I would texture it just to match up the integral base of her little friend. But right now, who cares, right? We're just painting. This is that craft paint that I get from Hobby Lobby, the Delta Creative. That is super high pigment and it's a good consistency. I use it for pretty much like anytime I want to paint something just straight up black because it's so easy to work with. And you get a ton of it for like $2, so that's a no-brainer. That's a dead giveaway. You should buy it. Alright. Whoop. Come on now, dude. Okay, got a little bit on the foot there, but who cares? But doing the black, look how awesome our color is once you actually get the black on there to contrast it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put her on here. I'm going to go run to the bathroom because I've been dying this whole time. And we're going to let that dry and I will be right back. So catch up if you need to catch up. Paint the base, let it dry if you want to. We're going to do her accessories and we're going to call it a day. So I will be right back in like, what, 5 minutes or less? I don't know. But anyway, be right back. Well, if I don't drop more stuff. Alrighty. All right. Let's get cracking. Whew, I just put in some nasal spray, some decongestant. All right. So my base is still drying, so we're just gonna wait until we start. Oh, well, actually, no, whatever. Nah. All right, I'm gonna take a dark brown, and we're just gonna do the brown itself. This is easy. I mean, it's on your palette, but oh, we're still waiting. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna wait on the skin until we do the other accessories and stuff, because I feel like that's probably smarter. So I'm just gonna take a dark brown, not a super duper duper crazy dark brown, but a decent dark brown, and I'm gonna paint all of these accessories here, especially the ones that I can't tell at all what it is, and I'm just gonna go through and paint them up. She even has like a leg, like a chicken's foot right there. So the belt and everything is just gonna be dark brown. All this other stuff I'm assuming is gonna be metal objects, so. We'll just do her belt and her bags, you know. Very typical. For a second, I started painting, I was like, oh god, I didn't unmute, but obviously I did. Fears of doing the video. I never unmute. Okay. I used to do it all the time though on the stream. People would be like, "Hey, you're muted." All right, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna do her necklace right here. Be careful if you decide to brave it. It is wide enough though that you should be able to get your brush on it just like so. All right, that wasn't too crazy. It fits. Let's see what else we got. Everything else to me looks like it's gonna be something metallic, so I may as well do that. So I'm just gonna get out some cool colors. I've got a coppery orange. Actually, I'm just gonna make well, not everything, but I'm just gonna use the cool copper color and then just a silver, and we're just gonna get it on there. That's too much. Are you a professional painter? Well, I'm a professional paint waster. Comes with the trade. All right. Okay, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a cup. Whatever it is, it's gonna be copper. Because we're gonna use, I'm gonna go ahead and use the same wash as whatever we use on the bags on all of the metallic stuff as well. So that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. We can just use black, or you can use strong tone. You can use like any pre-mixed wash that you have. If you have Agrax, you have any of that stuff, Nuln Oil, whatever you want to use. We'll just use that on the bags and the metallics, because those are just easy. We have no reason to color them all. Okay. Get some silver. She does have a charm on the necklace. I'll make that this bronzy, coppery color. There we go. And then the chicken foot, we already have an orange out, so I'll just literally paint that. And we'll just let it all dry and hit that whole area with the same wash. I need to wash that off. I got a little bit too much on there. There we go. I think I missed a spot inside of that. Yep, the cup. So let me fix that. Okay. So we're just waiting on that to dry. And then we'll wash it, and then we'll do the skin, and then we'll call it good. Obviously highlighting up the brown too, but okay. I'm thinking I can probably apply a wash. So, you know, I'm just gonna make a wash out of German gray, but you guys can use literally whatever you want here. You can experiment. Purple, like a deep purple might work for you, a black, whatever you want. But I'm just going with German gray, just dark. You can use strong tone, you can use dark tone, you can use any, like I said, literally whatever, painter's choice. So, go through here. Apparently I'm going very heavy with this wash. Too heavy. Here we go. Darkening that up a little bit. It's a little bit bright in the back. Okay. So you can see as that wash is already drying, it pretty much just chilled out that whole area. While we wait for all of that exciting stuff to dry, I will go ahead and do the skin. So I'm just using that same color. I would say at a 1-to-1 ratio of paint to water, but only on the tip of the brush, right? Obviously you can see right there, if you take a second to look. I'm only gonna be using the tip of that brush, so I don't want a lot of paint on it. I'm just gonna go in and, yeah, you know, do the whole skin thing, see if I can ruin it. Pretty easy to do. Not focusing on the eyes or anything. You guys can do that if you want. But I would rather have a finished mini that I'm happy with than look at it and go, damn, those eyes look goofy. So that's why I don't do that a lot of the time for my own personal stuff, because I'm like, if I mess with this, I'm not gonna like it, whatever. That's always the issue, so. I'll be interested to see what she looks like too after a clear coat. She'll be looking better, for sure. But I'll be interested to see if any of those colored shadows sort of shift in case there's a shine that's actually affecting them. I'm not expecting it though. It's usually few and far between when it does happen. All right, we got a foot. I'm gonna go back and do edges and stuff on our cool metal objects. Now that that wash is dry, you can see it toned everything down nicely. It really just sort of tied everything together. There we go. So now, some silver. Silver on the knife, silver on this whatever thing, right there thing. belt, top of the very tippity top belt buckle thing. Cool. Not happy with right in the middle of the face there, so I'm gonna drop more wash right up around the eyes, right in between there, just to kind of have that rounded out. There we go. That'll probably dry exactly what I'm wanting. Okay, I'm gonna take a random lighter color and do the stitching across the blouse quickly, like I am a madman. Oh my god. Okay. That worked. All right. Now let's do our brown. So I'm gonna use the goblin skin brownish tone. Can't even see what I'm working with, but it's all right. There it is. I'm painting this stuff as if it's very, very dark, so you should know what that means in terms of where the highlights go and how much. I want it to be dark leather. I'm gonna cover up those buckles, who cares? Okay. You can see I'm spending a little bit of time giving some love there to the bag, just highlighting it up to the edge. Since it is in your face, may as well give it some love. That was way too much there at the last second, but I'll wait a second, let it dry, and I'll wash it back down. All right, so I'm gonna take our crazy orange here real quick, go back at our foot, chicken's foot. Now that it's been toned down for us a little bit more. Check it out, it's a chicken foot. Do a little highlight. Yeah. We could probably stand to push the contrast on her friend a little bit more. So what I'll do is I'm just going to literally make like a random sort of wash and just kind of go in like this. Just darken it up on that side and underneath. Just because she would be casting more of a shadow onto him, so... Or her. Whatever. Whatever this little bugger is. But I'm happy. That's it. Hopefully this worked out well for you. Hopefully now you have a better feeling. You're more confident in knowing that you can really shape the way that you're using your color and the way that you're painting by doing a colored wash. I think it's a very useful technique to get good at and to get used to doing as well, so that way you're not as reliant on pre-made washes and mixes and things like that. Instead, if you want to do something simple where you're like, I want to shade the entire miniature, right? You can use something like I love to use all the time, strong tone, and then highlight it up. If you're doing metals, you can use it, you know, whatever you want. Or you can go, you know, this green looks good, but it might look good with a little bit of a blue tint. And that's when, you know, you go in and you start shading down. or you're like, you know, this red top looks really good, but it might look even better if instead of a darker sort of brown shadow, we have like a purple blue shadow, right? And then you can just pop, hit it with some blue, and then keep moving, you know, keep it funky. So that's how I always like to look at it. That's how I like to work with it. This paint job is a lot more dynamic than some of the other ones we've done, only because of the way that we're messing around with the color and shadow and everything like that. So I hope this was fun for y'all. I can't wait to see what you do. I will be taking a nice picture, but every time that I do that now, I have to unplug this camera right here that you're looking through. So I have to unplug that and then put, you know, all this other stuff, but it's all good. So I'll probably end up doing it tomorrow. Don't expect it out of me tonight. I'm pretty tired, but I'll get it up tomorrow, and then you can just start spamming all your pictures underneath. So since I know Peter's not here, and he's usually the one that sends the photo while we're still working, you can post it if you want in general. If you have questions right now, I guess, just post it to the normal Patreon group, but I'll have like my official thread, right, that we'll tag in the unit that you can then check out separately. So, but I think it turned out really cool. I think she's a cool sculpt. I think our color scheme is nice. And I think all of our sort of hue shifts that we did with the paint worked out really well. So hope yours are looking very cool too. I'm pretty sure they will. I can't wait to take a better picture of this though and hit her with a clear coat. She's gonna look great. So that is it for tonight. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. If you have any questions or anything, obviously, snap a pic, post it up in the group, and I will holler at you and answer it and let you know what I think. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Laura's going to be helping us again, but I think we'll figure out a stream somehow. So either way, see you guys later. Have a good night.